Myanmar is truly blessed and lucky. Myanmar has been given everything it needs to ensure that it prospers. Fertile agricultural land, energy, and minerals. Hello everyone, it's Asian Anthony, and in this video we're going to talk about Myanmar's three greatest resources. Resource number one is fertile agricultural land. Now Myanmar has 12 million hectares of agricultural land. Myanmar also has many different river systems along with a favorable monsoon season. These are things that you cannot build. It doesn't matter how smart you are. These are things that you cannot buy. It doesn't matter how rich you are. So what is the problem? Although Myanmar has more fertile agricultural land per person than other ASEAN countries, it doesn't use this agricultural land nearly as efficiently as its ASEAN neighbors. We need to find ways to modernize our agricultural land in a cheap and affordable ways. We can do this by using cheap drones, smartphones, and even things like ChatGPT would greatly help the farmers. Now, we can increase the pay of the farmer if we increase their efficiency. In America, the farmer is well paid and even rich, but in Myanmar, many people are ashamed of being a farmer, and this is something that should not fool us. We should not allow the government or society to think that the farmer is a poor man, because he is not. No one is more important than the farmer, because if the farmer does not farm, then you do not eat, and if you do not eat, you cannot live. Let's talk about the next resource. The next resource are the minerals. And in Myanmar, these are rare earths. Now, rare earths are a group of about 17 minerals. And rare earths are not actually rare at all. But not all rare earths are the same. Myanmar is one of the world's largest suppliers of heavy rare minerals. Now, these rare minerals are actually rare. Now, what's the problem here? Well, first, there's a difference between extracting or mining and processing. Anyone can extract the minerals from their country. All you need to do is drill a hole into the earth or a mountain or a hill. You fill that hole with some solution, some liquid solution, and then you just take the solution out, okay? It's not that complicated. It's the processing that is very difficult. And this is where China specializes in. And this is why China is very dominant in the rare earth mineral industry in Myanmar, because China is the #1 processor of rare earth minerals. This is not a bad thing. Most countries send their rare earths to China for processing. And also remember, the places that these rare earths exist in Myanmar are near the Chinese border. So this is actually a blessing that China is next door. The problem is not that China processes our rare minerals. The problem is the pay for the miners. There is a low pay. There's a lack of workers' rights in these mining facilities, and I've even heard stories of forced labor in these mining facilities. And the reason, or the way we can solve this problem, is twofold. We can either push the government to stand up to the Chinese government. I don't know if that's going to happen. Or the workers there can unionize, form a union, and collectively bargain and demand their rights. It's something that is very doable. And the last resource, this is our energy. And in Myanmar, the energy is the natural gas. Now, natural gas can be used for many things. Plastics, fertilizer, you can turn it into gas for cars, etc., etc. But there are countries like Thailand next door that depend on our natural gas supply. And also, the selling or the exporting of this natural gas brings in foreign currency for Myanmar. And this helps stabilize the kyat. The kyat is the local currency in Myanmar. So what's the problem? Well, the problem here is that the profits from natural gas almost all go to the current government of Myanmar. And that government right now has things to fund, like a war. So the government doesn't have as much money for social services. So those are the three greatest resources. Now, Myanmar is a food exporter, energy exporter, and a rare earth mineral exporter. There's no reason why Myanmar cannot thrive.